You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts. Just a regular Random Thoughts today. This one's not going to be super ranty. Thought about doing this as part of another series, but I'm lazy and I don't feel the obligation to edit Random Thoughts as much, so that's what we're doing is a Random Thoughts, so there you go. But today I wanted to talk about games that I respect more than I like. Now there's a scale of this. Not all are equal, and there's some that I like a lot more, and there's some that I like a lot less. So we're going to talk about a variety of different types that fall into this category for different reasons, and I will go over that. So we'll start off with the one that prompted me to want to make this video, and that's the Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall. Well, actually it's one of two that prompted me to make this game, but we're going to save the other one for later, because we're going to kind of sandwich some stuff in the middle. But Daggerfall is a game that I do respect, and I do want to like, and I think it's a good game, and I love the aesthetic. Because I really like the way that it looks when, with the towns and werebores as a concept and stuff like that. I think is really cool and unique. And on top of that, props to the game for being fucking huge. Not as big as Arena, mind you, but close. But there's a couple of things that make me not actually like playing it. I actually hate playing it. There's a reason I've only done one stream of it. I might try it again in the future. But part of it does come down to, skill issue. As you guys know, I'm not, the best gamer trademark, right? I am pretty bad at a lot of video games. There's some that I do okay at, but, I'm certainly no MLG gamer, right? And when it comes to Daggerfall, that's no exception. And there is a bit of a difficulty curve going into Daggerfall, because it doesn't hold your hand at all. Now, with the Elder Scrolls, my favorite game in the series is Morrowind, because I think Morrowind is the right amount of balance of difficulty, immersion, and not holding your hand at all. Because Morrowind does not hold your hand at all either. But it's a lot more intuitive to figure out, because you get, directions. And the combat's better. Yes, the combat in Morrowind is janky. Yes, it is technically like a dice roll every time you swing the sword. But, the way that weapons are in Daggerfall just don't feel very satisfying. Loot doesn't feel very satisfying because you can't pick up most of the shit you see enemies have. Also, gold has weight. The gold is weighted. So there's a whole banking system and stuff in this one. And while that can be immersive, that's not the kind of thing I look for in a game, personally, a lot of the time. Now, so that said, there's the difficulty, the way the combat works, the way the gold is weighted. But another big thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is procedural generation. I'm not really a fan of that. I suppose there are elements where it can have its place, for loot and stuff like that. But to have just this massive empty game with a bunch of towns that are all procedurally generated, with NPCs whose names are procedurally generated. I'll admit, yeah, it gives it a lot of variety because it's not always the same, right? It's all just procedural, right? It just generates randomly. And it doesn't do it as much as the first game did. Arena was, entirely procedurally generated. This one at least has a couple of things here and there that are handcrafted. But that's just a thing I don't like. I don't like procedural generation because it feels hollow, it feels soulless, there's not a purpose to many things. That's why I was never interested in games like No Man's Sky. I never played that, and I never really had any interest in playing that. I know that they did update it and make it a lot better. But when I heard about it in the first place, I was never crazy about it either. And that's not one that I'm talking about in this video, I'm just using it as an example with procedural generation, right? Minecraft similarly has procedural generation. Although with a game like Minecraft, with it basically just being video game Legos, I can see that working a lot better in that aspect. And I'm not moving on to Minecraft just yet, although that is one that could definitely be on this list. Daggerfall just doesn't hit it for me, which it's a shame, because I see screenshots, and I love how things look in it. But I can't ever fucking get anywhere to actually do anything with it. I think I got to, the first town, and then couldn't figure it out from there. And again, I know a large part skill issue, but it just wasn't fun. There wasn't anything intuitive about it. I got marginally better at the combat as the stream went on, but even then, it just didn't feel satisfying. And like I said, Morrowind's combat is janky, but I love the way Morrowind's combat works once I knew how it worked, right? Morrowind is my favorite one. Daggerfall just never did it for me, and I respect the hell out of it because it was a really ambitious game, and there's a lot to like about it. And I love the aesthetic. So, that's the first game I wanted to talk about on this list, was Daggerfall. Since I brought it up, let's talk about Minecraft. Minecraft is another one that I don't particularly enjoy playing all that much, although admittedly I do like playing Minecraft more than Daggerfall. Minecraft itself doesn't feel like it has like a purpose to me a lot of the time. It's just a creative tool, and that's fun. But at the end of the day, that can only keep me going for so long. Like, I can play Minecraft for maybe a couple hours, and then I get bored of it for like a year. I've never really played a ton of it. Like, I did play it on the 360 when it first came out on the 360 for a little bit there. And I did do one stream of it because Corbin kept hounding me to play it. And I had fun playing it. Minecraft is a good game, and I do have fun when I play it. But it is one more that I can appreciate for its existence and what it is, rather than actually having it a way that I like to spend time. Again, I don't have the same aversion to it that I do with Daggerfall, but at the same time, I don't like the aesthetic as much as I like Daggerfall. Like, the sad thing is, like, I wish I liked Daggerfall more than Minecraft. I do, because, like, as a concept, Daggerfall interests me way more than a concept like Minecraft. But Minecraft is a better game. But it isn't a game that I really enjoy playing for too long. Minecraft is one that I can play for a couple hours at a time, maybe. Alright, now let's move on to one that's a little bit different to be on this list, because it isn't actually one that I don't like, and it's one that I actually enjoy playing quite a bit. But by golly is it a chore to play, and that is Lisa the Painful. I love Lisa the Painful. And, I honestly... Two problems I have with it. The difficulty, and I know, yes, get good. I know, I'm not good. I'm sorry, I'm not, a lot of the time. But that's not the only thing. The other issue is finding out where the hell to go. Now, granted, both of these things were fucking skill issues. Because I spent forever trying to figure out where to go, only to find out, hey, there's a hole in the wall that you can just go in. And I didn't realize you could just go in it to get to the second area. Once I figured that out, we were good. But that took me, like, what, 2 or 3 streams to figure out? And, like, granted, it wasn't, like, super intuitive, but it's also not, like, super, like, hidden either. So I felt kind of stupid on that one. Right now, I'm currently stuck on Wally, and that boss fight is a fucking pain in the ass. Now, again, this one isn't really on the same tier as a lot of these, because I fucking love Lisa the Painful. I actually have a lot of fun playing this. But I thought it was worth mentioning that it can be a chore, just because of the difficulty and the not intuitive parts of it. Especially since, you know, they keep removing limbs and making it harder the further you get. But nevertheless, I've had a lot of fun with Lisa, and I do plan to get back to it. So again, it's not really one on this list that I respect more than I like. It's one that I like, but I have to be in a very particular mood, so it's a chore. Let's continue on with something in the same vein. And that's Earthbound. I love Earthbound. I've put Earthbound in my favorite RPGs top 10, right? Which actually is 20, even though I forgot to change the title and thumbnail. It's also super outdated. I really need to update it, because I have a bunch of stuff on the list now that weren't before, and vice versa. And Earthbound is one that I've had a lot of fun playing. I've only ever made it to the second town. I've never done much more than that. But I love Gygus. Gygus is a really cool boss fight that I'd love to one day actually fight myself. But honestly, the main thing that holds me back in Earthbound is the ATM system. Which I know is just a really simple thing that once you get the hang of, I'm sure it's fine. And, you know, I've had people tell me, you know, there's things like the for sale sign and stuff that mitigate that. But it's such an annoying feature, and it's kind of going with the banking thing in Daggerfall, right? Like, you having to go to an ATM to get your money to buy shit in Earthbound is, like, something that I find absolutely absurd. And it's great for immersion, I suppose, to a degree, but at the same time, why is a fucking kid walking around with an ATM card? Not that Earthbound needs to be realistic in any way, shape, or form, because it's a ridiculous game about aliens and has all sorts of kooky shit in it. Again, I love Earthbound. It's not in the same vein as, like, Minecraft or, you know, Daggerfall. But it is one that I do like, but I have to really motivate myself to play it. Alright, now to end off with, let's talk about the second one out of the two that really made me want to make this video. Because, again, a lot of the stuff in the middle there are actually games that I like quite a bit. Like, for instance, like I said, I love playing Lisa. It's just frustrating as hell. And I love playing Earthbound. It's just that one mechanic that drives me fucking nuts. And Minecraft I can play for a couple hours and then, you know, be good. But again, Minecraft is definitely on the lesser side out of the ones I actually like. But Daggerfall is definitely my least favorite of the one on this list. And this one is the one that really also made me think about this, though. This is a game that I really want to like. I wish I loved this fucking game. And that's Fallout 1. Fallout 1 is such a fucking chore to play. Like, you have no indication of where to go, right? Which, you know, that's fine, whatever. But on top of that, there's a fucking time limit. You can kill anybody, and all of your companions, and anything can be killed, that you can very easily lock yourself out of actually having the game be winnable. But then, of course, like I said, there's the time limit. You have, 150 days in-game to complete, to find a water chip and get it back to the vault before everybody dies and you lose and it becomes unwinnable. Which, you know, that's one thing, but every time you travel between towns, it takes like 10 to 15 days off the timer. Like, so you gotta really know where the fuck you're going. So combine the time limit with not knowing where to go, with the fact that you can kill essential characters, which again, I'm all for. I love that Morrowind you can do that too. Although Morrowind gives you an indication, I don't think Fallout does. But on top of that, the other thing with Fallout that really drives me nuts is I really, really hate the combat. Like, I cannot stand the combat. Like, first off, I don't know what's going to be effective against what enemies. Like, I know that at some point you want to start building up energy weapons because they're, like, the strongest thing against super mutants. But God knows if I'll ever even get to the fucking super mutants. I want to play more Fallout 1 at some point, and maybe it'll be something I get more into. But it's on a tile system, which, you know, is fine. That's fair enough. Tactical RPGs and stuff like that are always on a tile system, right? But the thing is, once you enter combat, you're on this grid. And while you're in combat, every step that you take uses AP. You know, action points. So you can only move a couple of steps in a turn. And if you want to get out of combat, you gotta flee by actually leaving the grid. And if you better hope you got enough AP to get off that fucking grid, or else you're still going to be stuck in combat as the enemies inch more and more towards you. But on top of that, you know, every little thing you do takes AP, like opening your inventory takes AP, equipping an item takes AP, using that item after you've equipped it takes AP. Like, it drives me up the fucking wall. I think VATS is a far better way to use AP. And again, it's one of those things that I'm sure it's partially due to a skill issue, right? Like, it's like, yes, it's an older RPG. A lot of them have things like this. Yes, I have been fucking spoiled with newer RPGs. I am fully aware of this. I fucking love the atmosphere of Fallout 1. I fucking love the dialogue in Fallout 1. And I love the lore and the story. But it's such a fucking chore to play. Like, I honestly don't know when I'll get back to Fallout 1. Like, I got to Dogmeat, and I'm like, cool, I got Dogmeat. There we go, goal accomplished. Like, literally, I found him, and that was, like, it. Like, I went to this vault and stuff that apparently if you bring a companion with, that companion will, like, comment on it, and then that'll tell you where to go next. But I cleared that vault without having a companion with me. So does that mean I'm just fucked? Like, I know that, like, in theory, like, you can just go straight to Mariposa, right? Like, that's where you just go. But even, like, trying to look at online guides, I still can't figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Because a lot of guides are just, like, counterintuitive and don't just tell you, hey, go do this, you dumb fuck. Like, online guides, for whatever reason, on Fallout 1, I have had the worst luck trying, because I tried just using a guide from the start, because I'm like, Fallout 1's going to be a chore. Let's just look at a guide and do everything it says to do it and actually just win. And then we can fuck around, right? That was the idea. But even trying to do that is fucking difficult as hell. So I kind of gave up on that and just kind of, you know, muscled my way through. I have no idea if I've soft-locked anything. I have no idea if I have to go back to that vault with the companion. I'm pretty sure I gotta kill some raiders to get that companion. And when I tried killing those raiders, I fucking died because I was massively ill-equipped. So I don't even fucking know if it's beatable at the point I'm at, because I don't know if I've traveled too much, that I've just don't have enough days left. Like, it's such a fucking stressful thing to try and figure out. Now, granted, I am sure if I was good at it, I would love that. I would love the challenge, because I love a challenge when it's one I can tackle, right? Like, fighting Sans took me fucking forever to beat, but it was a fun challenge, and I'm glad I did it, and I've beat him 3 times, right? Working on a 4th, but again, I haven't done it in a while, so I'm rusty, so now I'm not good at it again. Last time only took me 2 attempts, because, you know, once you memorize the attacks, it's actually not that bad. Or beating Pepsi Man. Beating Pepsi Man was something that took me an absurdly long amount of time. Ironically, the same amount of time it took me to beat Sans, 60 hours. For whatever reason, that is a kind of a magic number with me and, like, difficult gaming challenges that I have. And I love the Fallout series, right? Fallout is a franchise that I love. Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games. Fallout New Vegas is one of my favorite RPGs as well. Fallout 4 is alright. I enjoy Fallout 4, but it's definitely lesser than those first two. But I have much more fun playing Fallout 4 than I do playing Fallout 1. And you want to know the fucked up and really controversial take. I have more fun playing Fallout Brotherhood of Steel than I have playing Fallout 1. And Brotherhood of Steel is a janky as fuck game. It's like the least popular Fallout game. Everybody hates it. And I'm not saying it's a better game, because Fallout 1 is absolutely the fucking better game. But Fallout Brotherhood of Steel is at least one that I know how to fucking progress, and I don't have that annoying time limit, and combat doesn't bother me as much, because it's basically just like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance on the PS2, but Fallout. And so it's really intuitive, especially since I've played Baldur's Gate Dark Alliances, and also, you know, Champions of Norath and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of games that company made that are kind of the same thing. Just having that with a Fallout skin is a lot easier. And the dialogue's actually kind of funny in Fallout Brotherhood of Steel as well. Also, I think it's really funny that in that game, Balls is a competitor to Nuka-Cola, effectively. But yeah, I do plan someday to try and get back to Fallout 1. And maybe someday I'll get back to Daggerfall. No promises on that one. But Daggerfall and Fallout 1 in particular are the two things that really made me want to make this video. Because I love Fallout and I love Elder Scrolls. And I really, really want to like both of those games. And I love a lot of old games. Now, admittedly, I'm not the best at a lot of old games. I mean, hell, every NES game that I've ever beaten, I've used save states. And the only NES games I've beaten are Super Mario 1, which I save-scummed to hell. And I also looked up a guide for the puzzle mazes, because fuck those, what a retarded concept. Like, you know, the castles, how there's those mazes that you gotta navigate. And then the other ones I beat are Takeshi's Challenge, which, of course, I use save states. Only really needed them on the hang gliding stage, because I actually breezed through everything else, surprisingly, in Takeshi's Challenge. And then I beat Cokehead Junkie, which, again, I save-scummed to shit. That's a ROM hack of Codename Viper, if you don't know. And then I've beat Friday the 13th. But Friday the 13th, not only did I use save states, but I also used a Game Genie to make myself invincible and make the children unkillable. So I made it... I cheated to high heaven to beat Friday the 13th on NES, because there's no way in hell I want to beat it legit one day, because I actually really like that game. It's just hard. But yeah, that's it really. Like I said, I like old games, but there are some that definitely are a chore. And like I said, not everything on this list is equal. Like I said, there are some games on here I genuinely really enjoy playing. Like I said, like Lisa is probably the one on this list that I enjoy playing the most, probably followed very closely by Earthbound. Earthbound is great. I just, I'm bad at it. And the ATM shit is something that definitely is an adjustment. Now granted, there's plenty of things that are an adjustment I can get used to, because if you've watched my early Fallout 3 streams, all I fucking did was bitch. Because I was stupid and couldn't figure out how to utilize, like, how to properly make sure that I was stocked up on healing supplies and ammo. Like, there's a lot of things when I jump into a game where I bitch and bitch and bitch. Like, Fallout 3, I bitched all the time that I kept running out of ammo, or kept dying, or was bad with accuracy and shit like that. And, you know, when a lot of the time when I used to play RPGs when I was younger, I would not utilize my stats well, like, at all. I mean, hell, KOTOR is one of my favorite games, but do you know how fucking often I played that game, like, utilizing myself fucking poorly without even realizing how the skills worked as a kid? Like, granted, I just dumped everything into strength, which is why like, melee builds always were like, yeah, melee builds are good, range builds are bad. That was my mentality, right, when I was younger, because, I didn't fucking know how to use dexterity and shit like that. I thought dexterity affected speed when I was a kid. I was stupid. Even though the stats literally tell you what they do. But yeah, I also, like, when I first played Skyrim, because I couldn't fucking climb a mountain, I bitched about that the whole time, too. That wasn't on stream, mind you. The Skyrim streams I've done were way, way, way later than that. I played Skyrim when it first came out on 360. But I also bitched all the time in New Vegas about, like, you know, going off the path and Cazadors and shit like that. And again, as I've played these games more and more, none of these things are a problem to me anymore, and I just have a much easier time playing them now. So, there is a possibility that a lot of these games I will actually enjoy more once I get better at. But anyway, I have rambled on enough. This is a longer episode of Random Thoughts, and I'm really not going to edit it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Toodles.